Hello, hello. I am about to go work out, but before I do that, I just wanted to go on live really quick to talk about something that has recently was like a aha moment for me. Aha moment is a little bit of a drag, but it was really important for me to better gauge people. So in the Bible, there's a verse that says, cleanliness is next to godliness. I've always heard it before. I don't know the exact verse. I should have looked it up before I got on here. I don't know the exact verse, but I've always heard it. And for clarity, I wouldn't necessarily say that I am a religious person. I am spiritual. I believe in God, source, a higher power. I'm still learning what truth looks like for me, whether that is with the Bible. I do enjoy reading the Bible. I learn from the Bible. Um, but I wouldn't really say that I'm religious per se. But I'm learning some really great things in the Bible, and I feel like whether the Bible is true or not is not necessarily my concern. I feel like I'm doing more research and gaining more knowledge, and I'm open to allowing what is true to come to me. But recently, it hit me that cleanliness is next to godliness because if people are messy, if people are not they have poor hygiene, maybe they smell or maybe they're not really put together, um, maybe they just don't shower as much or they don't really take care of themselves. That that is can be indicators that people don't really value themselves, so they might not value you. So I've been in situations that have been kind of mentally draining, spiritually draining, um, just not the safest for me as far as my mental health, my emotional health, etc. And I've realized there has been a common thread with everyone that has been involved in that. Not everyone, but for the most part, they are either messy, they either smell, and I'm not trying to be mean or judgmental. This is not coming from a judgmental place, but this is, like I said, it's helping me gauge people and how I should trust them or how I should maneuver with them. And this is not judgment, but this is just reality, my reality. They either are messy, they smell, they don't mind leaving or being involved in smells that are not pleasant. They don't really care about aesthetics. I realize that's a common thread with some people that have been mentally or emotionally harmful to me. So that let me see that, okay, if you have poor hygiene or if you don't really take care of yourself or your environment, that can be a red flag. And that is why people say cleanliness is next to godliness, because when you are moving with light, when you are moving with love, when you are moving with positivity, you're going to take care of your space, you're going to take care of yourself, you're going to make sure that you smell good, you're going to make sure that you look good, you're going to make sure that you're considerate of the people that are around you. So that is something that I realize, and I'm like, okay, for me, if someone is messy, if someone doesn't smell good, if they don't really take care of themselves, I can see that as a red flag for me. And I use that to kind of understand where I should put people in my life. Or if I don't really understand it, maybe I at least understand that, okay, this person has some kind of issue in their life where they don't value themselves that much. So I can come to the conclusion that it might be possible that they might not value me or that might rub off on me in some kind of way. So it allows me to kind of not expect too much from people. And obviously, we shouldn't expect much from people in general. Like I'm learning that having expectations only hinders us. So at the same time, it's teaching me how to be realistic with myself about the role that people might play in my life or if they might harm me in any kind of way. And I don't mean just physical, I mean mental, emotional, spiritual. And I've noticed like a common thread: messy, smelly, not taking showers, whatever the case may be. And again, this is not judgment. I'm not judging anyone for how they choose to live their life, but I am going to take that as signals about how you should be in my life. Now let's turn that inward towards myself and towards you, because I'm not going to lie, when I was growing up, I had moments where I didn't value my hygiene or I didn't pour into myself the way that I should have, or the way that a woman should, people should in general. And looking back at it now, I'm like, okay, that was definitely not me moving in my godliness or as the highest version of myself, because I was neglecting myself in some ways. I wasn't paying attention to myself in some ways. And whenever I fall back into these patterns of not uh taking care of myself or not being as up on my hygiene, etc., I'm like, now this reminds me, like, you're not being your godly self, you're not being the highest version of yourself. So get it together. And anytime I catch myself in those moments, and I don't do it often, it's pretty rare because my self-care is kind of like my standard now. Like, I don't really have these depressive moments anymore where it affects me to the point where I don't do my self-care. It's very minimal now, thank God. But I do understand that there's people who, sometimes it's hard to get up and take a shower. Sometimes it's hard to pour into yourself because you're already going through mental things, your nervous system is already struggling, etc. But you have to. You have to help yourself get into a higher vibration. It helps you feel better. But I say that all to say, if you are neglecting yourself in any kind of way, if you're not pouring into yourself, those can be indicators that you are just not functioning as the highest version of yourself. And don't let it fall to the wayside. Like, don't just allow your armpits to be stinky. Don't just allow your skin to be dry and flaky. Don't just allow your self to just deteriorate. You have to like pour into yourself, because not only does it reinforce your own self-love and it confirms your own self-love when you smell good, when you look good, when you feel good, you're more confident, but it also shows other people how you love yourself. So for me now, cleanliness, how you smell, how you feel comfortable, what you feel comfortable doing around other people, as far as like, let me give you an example. Some women don't like to pass gas around their partners. And I get it. I get it, because I really don't feel comfortable passing gas around anyone, not even just my partner. Like, I want to be respectful to people and preserve their smells. Like, I do my best to eat clean and pay attention to what is in my body so it's not like crazy smelling. But I don't really like to pass gas around people. I'm more private with how like, I'm more private with when I'm using the bathroom or anything like that because I want to preserve people's senses. Like, I don't wanna just pass gas and then it stinks and then everyone is smelling it, you know? Like, I don't like that. And for me, when people do that, that's kind of a red flag for me. That's just me. That's just me. Like, cleanliness, how things smell, how things look is I'm noticing is important to help me gauge how people value themselves. And not everyone will agree, and that's okay, but from my experience, I'm seeing a common thread and I'm like, "Okay. Okay. Okay." So, I'm I'm one of those women that's like, my man, I'm really gonna avoid passing gas around them. Every time I say passing gas, I think about my grandpa because he used to hate when we would say fart. He hated it. He hated it. He hated it. And I can understand it sounds so like ill, but every time I say it, I think about him. But anyway, I'm going to be like one of those girls that like I don't really I like to go off in private and pass gas or like I don't want to do that in front of not just my man, but in front of other people because I value keeping things smelling good. I value smelling good. And I know that might sound crazy to some people, but that's just me. And that's what I value. So that is all I really had to say today. That's all I really have to say. And, I'm happy that I came to this conclusion because sometimes when I read things in the Bible or when I hear people say things, or it might be cliche, it might be something that's always said, and it's like you hear it, but you never really fully grasp it. And from my experiences with people who just are okay with leaving nasty smells, people who are okay with leaving messes, people who are okay with just people who are okay with just doing things that are not the most hygienic. I'm realizing they have a pattern of being kind of low vibrational. And because I see that pattern, I'm like, okay, now I see why cleanliness is next to godliness because certain things, people who value themselves, certain things they won't do. And obviously, that looks different for everybody. I'm not saying that if you pass gas in front of your partner, that makes you less valuable. That's not what I'm saying. That's just something that I value, right? But I just see a pattern. I see a pattern. And if you, especially if you're a woman, you want to make sure that you are pouring into yourself, into your hygiene, into how you smell, into how you look, because that's going to impact how you feel about yourself. And that's going to impact how people perceive you. And certain people, even though they might not look at it and be like, okay, cleanliness is next to godliness, they might not think about that in the moment, but subconsciously they're going to either smell you or see you and be like, eh. So taking care of your hygiene is not only about how you're presenting and how you're smelling and how you're looking. It's not just the surface level, but it's deeper than that. It's how you value yourself, how you love yourself, how you treat yourself. And when people see you, when people smell you, when people come into your space, that's also what they're seeing or experiencing, even if they don't have the language or the intellect to really understand that's what they're perceiving, but subconsciously, that's what we're perceiving. And I gathered all of that and I wanted to share that because hygiene, like I said, is not just about the surface level. It's really about how you value yourself. So yeah, that's all I had to share today. I know it's kind of crazy, kind of left field, but I think that's important. I think that's important for us to talk about because I think some women don't value the importance of making sure they smell good. Some men don't value the importance of making sure they smell good. And if that's the choice that you make, you have to be okay with the kind of people you attract, the kind of situations you put yourself in because you don't value yourself as much. And hygiene is just a surface level topic, but like I said, it goes way deeper than that. So that is all for my chat today. I am about to go work out. And I'll be back on live tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to talk about yet, but I'll be back. Join my school community, the Natural Girls Club. The link will be in the description of this live. And in my school community, we talk about confidence. We actually have a theme for the month, which is honesty is beautiful, where we take honest looks at ourselves so that we can shed the different layers of ourselves that is holding us back from being the most confident, vibrant version of ourselves. And I also share some hygiene tips in there, some all natural self care tips. It is free. So join if you would like. All right, guys. Bye.